So I have the image. It did trim off the edge because it's a little wider than our printer, and the ruler is not perfectly lined up properly, but we can use both those things. That's fine. The first thing, though, is this is a PDF. We need to make this PDF an image so that Onshape can see it. So our first step is to go to a free PDF to PNG converter. We're going to select the mouse pad, and then I'm going to wait for it to finish it. Downloads, not that yet. Download file. There we go. Now I'm going to take this. I'm going to open up paint.net because we're going to trim this image a little bit. File, open, downloads. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut this down the middle at the top of the mouse pad. So that looks pretty darn close to the halfway point of our mouse pad. Control an image, crop to selection. And that gives us our size. And we'll just make sure that when we size this, it ends up the right scale and Onshape. So we're going to grab this thing now. We're going to take and do a save. I'm now going to go over to my Onshape model in our document, and we're going to take and hide all this stuff. Oh my gosh, it's a little stupid separate thing. It's annoying. Plus import the split mousepad.png. And now I'm going to start a sketch. I need to create a document, create a part studio. You would have one by default. I just deleted it because I did a test run of this before I did the video. I'm going to start a sketch on my front plane, and I'm going to grab the image and make that way bigger. So I'm going to pull this out. So this gap is a 1/4 inch. I looked. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 1/4, 4 1/2, 4 3/4, 4 7/8, plus 1/4. So I'm going to dimension this image to 4 plus 7/8 plus 0.25. Because it will scale linearly, this should be the exact size of our piece, but we will test that before we actually 3D print anything. At this point, it's now time to start doing our trace. We're going to use our spline tool, and I'm going to start the bottom one. It's easier. I'm going to start right here, and I'm just going to zoom out some so I don't have to have this nearly as big. We want to get as close as possible, but if it's not perfect, it's fine because we will add some tolerance to this so that if we're not exactly right, it's okay. So I'm going to come back around over to the top. Okay. And I ended up with a weird thing. Control Z, Control Y. Okay, this is connected. I want to remove that connection point. Now, this needs to end up being perpendicular, so I'm going to go and F11 so I can see everything. I'm going to set this perpendicular to here. And now I need to go like that. Let's see if I can get it now. All right, let's try dimensioning it. Oh, that's weird. All right, I guess we will carefully make it as straight as possible. And we're going to zoom back. I think we'll clean this up a little bit. That looks generally good. I also want this to be as close to perpendicular as possible. And then we're going to add one more thing, which is a straight line down the middle, because we're going to mirror this whole thing. Okay. So we're going to extrude this 0.1. And if I see some places that look a little weird, like that, I will go into the model. Oh, good. Coincident. Yeah, be careful of those. That looks better. It's getting better. I know this needs to. Oh, that looks pretty good. All right, let's mirror this object. Feature mirror. The mirror plane is going to be here, and it's gonna make it two objects. We're now going to take and make this one object. So I'm gonna Control A, or Control select both those, and Boolean to make them one part. All right, so now we have one thing. All right, so this is the same size as our side, but now let's build the ridge around our mouse pad. So we're going to start it, project that. We're now going to do a offset. And this first one's going to be our tolerance, so 0.065, 75, 0.025 rather. Point 0.025. And now we're going to make a second outline. So both sides of that. And this is going to be 0.1. So now we need to go except I don't want to go that way. I want to go this way. I'm going to go 0.1. So now we have a slightly bigger pad. Now I can start a sketch on here. I'm going to hit use one last time. I'm going to use offset another time. But this time we're going to pull it inwards. Oh, try again. Offset. And I'm going to do just a hair inside. New 0.1. There we go. That had some weird constraint, but we're good now. And we're going to extrude just okay, I see what's wrong. these points don't connect anymore. So let's reconnect those 2 points and see if that fixes us. Oh. Okay, I'm just going to make a quick spline to connect this point. And do the same thing at the bottom. I'm just going to make a tiny spline to connect these so they... There we go. Let's see if that now extrudes. Shift E for extrude. Good. And I'm going to go only up 0.05 because I don't really want much. And now let's add some of these fillets. No, not there. It doesn't want to add. Let's see if I grab the little sections here. Oh, it does not. Oh, to do it. There we go. There we go. We can probably just bring this back up to 0.05 now. Let's go 0.045. There we go. Now, before I do anything else, we need to take and see if this is going to work. So what we're going to do is now create a drawing. I'll do that in the next video.